Should we get into it?
Yeah,
Do
let's
it.
fucking get into it. Let's do this.
Let's get into it.
Do this.
All right. Well, okay. First things first, for our listeners, happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Yay. It's the best
And
holiday
for
ever.
our listeners in England, happy Brexit.
Happy Brexit. Yay. Wait, do they celebrate Halloween in England? They don't?
I don't know, to be honest. That's a good question. I hope they do.
Okay, so all right, England, you're going to have to get back to us on this. We don't know if you celebrate Halloween, because we're ignorant Americans and we're ethnocentric. Great.
Do I have a computer in front of me that I can look it up? Yeah. Am I gonna? No,
Sure do.
No.
Absolutely
you tell us.
not.
You get back to me.
I want you to tell us. Yeah, you guys do the work. We've been working all fucking season. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Yeah, this has been a wild season.
Yeah. It's been fun.
My God. Oh, okay, so there's been a lot of fun. There's also been so much work. I mistakenly thought that this season would be a lot easier and smooth sailing after season 1 because it was like, oh, well, we already have a format. Like, we know what we're doing. Just not the case at all.
No, not even
at
a
all.
little bit.
No. I actually remember us both talking about how much easier this season's going to be.
Yeah. We're just like, oh, dude, it's going to... I remember a time where we were sitting at the bar across the street from my studio, and we were just like, oh yeah, we'll have all of the episodes recorded and ready to go by, I don't know, middle of June. Yeah.
Long shot. Let's say late June. Just be crazy with it. Oh my God. Remember that when we were just so young and naive? When was that?
Oh man, that was ages ago, Sarah. I have aged a lot since then.
Me too. Oh my God. So for listeners that maybe don't know who's on the phone with me right now, I'm talking to Randy, my producer, who you may know from the middle of episodes where I say, Randy, take that part out. And then he doesn't. Yeah. Randy, cut this. And then,
so
he doesn't.
No. Because for me, it's like, no, Sarah, you're going to live with what you just did.
No, actually, you're going to answer for what you just said. The funniest thing is that Randy will edit episodes that I recorded weeks ago. And I'll just get a text message randomly that's like, I don't think Snoop Dogg was in that. And I'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? What do you mean? Oh, is that what we were talking about? I don't know.
And I would preface it with nothing. I would preface it with absolutely nothing. Like, not, hey, Sarah, listen to episode 13. You're halfway through this temple, and you guys start talking about this, and I just wanted to, if I was there, I would say this. No, it's just, that wasn't Gene Hackman. Are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing? Nothing before it. That's just it.
And I'm just like on the treadmill or something, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Oh my God. I think maybe the most difficult thing of this season was, first of all, a lot of life changes have happened for me this season. A lot of life changes. I graduated college. So yay. Thank you. My mom got married, so I was in Michigan for actually a while, and I moved to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So
you lived in 3 states in 6 months.
Try a month and a half. Actually, 1 month.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, because I went. So for the month of June, I recorded 13 episodes in 1 month.
Right.
I recorded half this season in the month of June.
Mm-hmm.
Over, I think, 6 cities. Because I was, in the month of June, I recorded in Detroit, Chicago, Lansing, Traverse City, and Los Angeles. Am I missing one?
Right.
So
I think you
5 cities.
are Lansing, Traverse City. You said Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Then yeah, 5 cities. Yeah.
Chicago.
Uh-huh.
5 cities.
That's
But
right.
5 cities, 13 episodes, 1 month. That is unheard of. Like, I can't even believe I did it. And I was a fucking mess. Like, at one point I called my mom. I was driving back. I was driving from Grand Rapids. That's the city I missed.
Grand Rapids.
So
that's
6 cities. Yeah, because I was driving from Traverse City to Grand Rapids, and I called my mom in the morning just sobbing. And she was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it." And my mom was like, "Well, yes, you can. Get your shit together and record your fucking show." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. All right, cool." I was so like sleep deprived and crazy. I didn't realize that Chicago to Detroit has a 1 hour time difference. So I suddenly, So, and it's only like a few hours away for a drive. But I suddenly got to Chicago and then looked at my phone, and the time on my phone was different than the time on my computer. And I was like, oh, shit. And I had to text my comic that I was meeting that day and go, "What time is it for you right now?" Like, I know this is a weird question. Oh my god.
Hey, just
and this poor guy, like, it was actually Adam Quaslow, who I love. He has never met me in person at that time, didn't know me very well. All he knows is I'm some girl with a paranormal podcast. And I just text him and say, "Hey, what time is it for you right now?" He's like, what the fuck? But
it's like, new phone, who dis? Also, I don't want to know who this is.
It was. But, we made it work and it was great.
Yeah.
Ugh, man. It's just been wild. And then ever since moving to LA, there's been so many issues that I've had with scheduling and getting approval for locations. Because the thing about Los Angeles is that, like, this is an entertainment city. So every place I talk to, like, different issues that I have in other cities is they're just usually like, no, we don't really like the idea of ghosts, or, whatever. Like, that's usually the issue. Right. In Los Angeles, they're like, "Great, yeah, we'd love to have you here. We start at about $10,000 an hour, and then we kind of go from there." What's your budget? And I'm like, well, let me try to crunch some numbers and get back to you. Fuck me. It's so annoying because I just want to be like, nobody knows what a podcast is. Like, nobody's going to find this. No one's going to hear this.
Right.
Just let me fucking be at your location for an hour and a half. Don't be weird.
Right.
Don't make me, trespass. Just kidding. I would never do that.
At this point, Sarah, trespass. Why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely trespassed on the show. Like, I was totally kidding. But no, I mean, like, it's so crazy. Like, I feel like they basically just want to exploit you as much as they can because it's Los Angeles. Like,
yeah. Because like all the places you want to go to, other people, like, movie studios are very aware how haunted the place that you're trying to go is. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll pay $10,000 to shoot a 30-second scene there."
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They're like, "Well, how much money can I make off of you?"
Yeah. Which is, I get it, but it doesn't make life easy for either of us.
No, definitely not. And it also really impacts you because the schedule of everything is so dependent on so many moving pieces that I can't guarantee that I'm going to get you X amount of episodes by a certain time because I'm just like, I'm just sitting here trying to make an episode work,
Right. Absolutely. And for to take another peek behind the curtain, the fun part, and I use fun both very seriously and sarcastically, was when you were recording in the Midwest, because that was happening at the same time that I was recording Portland's Funniest Person at Helium Comedy Club, which is, for listeners, an annual contest that happens at Helium, at the comedy club here in Portland. And it was during the month of June was when I got all 13 of these. They were all, I mean, I think you sent me all 13 of those episodes over the course of 2.5 weeks. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think what I did was I would literally record them and then like push them right out to you. So that all of them were on our Google Drive, like just so that I knew they were out there. Yeah.
Right. And I believe that was episodes 11 through 24 were all
that sounds
Midwest.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it might be 10 through 23, what have you, around
something like
that area. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess earlier in this season was actually LA, so it kind of comes full circle.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So at that time, that contest runs 4 shows a week, and it's 12 comics a show, and all of them are I do videography for these comedians. So that's around 50 comics a week that are all getting videotapes from me. So I'm doing that while doing the show, which the show takes a few hours to put together too. So like it was very interesting. It was a crazy contrast to have all 13 of those come through almost at once, and the rest of them were just we're still doing.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was interesting juxtaposition there.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, I don't think people realize how much work goes into every single episode of this show.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. It's a very big coordinated effort on our parts here.
It's one of those things that, I mean, so many things have to go right. The fact that we have a consistent recording or a consistent release schedule for this show blows my mind.
It's astounding.
It's absolutely astounding. It is. It's like, the fact that we've pulled off what we have this season, I'm shocked, honestly.
Yeah.
The amount of times that I've texted you or called you and told you I want to give up this season, like, I wanted to quit so bad so many times because it's so much hard work. It's
very difficult.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's one of those things that it's like, I think for listeners that every week they're just like, oh, cool, now it's in a cemetery or whatever. They don't realize how much work has gone into, first of all, me scheduling a comic and having it work with them. Because working with a comedian, God love all comedians, but working with them is just like working with a musician. Like, you have no idea if it's going to work out, even if they give you the green light. Like, if I work with a comedian and we actually meet on the day we're supposed to meet, within an hour of the time we're supposed to meet, it's a goddamn miracle every time.
Yeah.
I'm always like, wow, this is really going to work out. Great. Like, it's amazing. So there's that side of it.
It truly
there's
is.
There's also, like we talked about, the getting approval thing. But yeah, it's,
I mean,
and then of course,
I think it's, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I think it's pretty safe to say that between the two of us, each episode, for the hour-ish content that you get, I would say it's pretty fair to say that about 12 to 15 hours of work goes behind it.
Oh, easily.
Right? Like, and that's conservative. That's a conservative.
Definitely. Yes. Because I typically, for each episode, I'll probably spend about 2 to 3 hours doing the research part of it.
Right.
We typically spend about 2 hours at the location, because there's definitely a lot that's us not even recording, and then stuff that we've cut out as well. So what is that already? That's like 5 hours. You spend how many hours do you probably spend on at least 2 or 3?
Minimally 2 per episode.
Yeah.
Absolute
to listen and break them down. So that's already at about 7 to 8.
Right.
And then you throw in all the phone calls that I make talking to the comedians, talking to the locations, getting permissions, all of that, travel time. It's like insane the amount of work that we put into this.
And I would say, like, to sum all that up, I would throw, I'm just going to say 7 because travel time, especially this season, has been pretty nuts. So that puts us at, and again, listeners, conservatively, 19 hours per episode.
It's, and like on one side of it, do I want to bitch about it? 100% yes.
No.
I love bitching about everything. I will happily bitch about how much work I put into this goddamn show, just like I bitch about everything else. However, I wouldn't want it any other way. It's so hard and it's so much work, but I'm so proud of what we have put out there. Every single episode is like, there's so much more than me walking through the cemetery in this episode. There's hours of me sitting at my computer, taking down notes and saying, oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is kind of cool, or, whatever. And there's the shock when we really do get permission to do awesome things, like going on the Queen Mary in Long Beach. Going through the asylum in Detroit, the abandoned haunted asylum. There's been some really cool locations this season.
And not only that, but you've had so many people that are so knowledgeable and like down to give the information and like spread. I don't want to say spread awareness because that has a weird connotation to it, but like the people who work there. The people who work there were like so many this season. We're so down to take you into hidden areas and show you stuff that's not accessible to the public and give you really, really cool anecdotal information that's been passed down from the lineage of the employees that have worked there. Like you had some incredible interactions with locals this season, which I loved listening to so much.
Oh yeah, no, thank you. And I was so grateful for that. The mansion that we went to in Detroit, I remember as we were leaving, we like ran into the owner who was like, hey, are you guys recording? He like pointed at our lav mics and I was like, oh shit. And I thought we were going to get in trouble.
Well, this one's trashed.
I was like, fuck, that's going to set me way back. Because again, like all the hours that we put into stuff, think about the locations that end up not working out. There's a few locations that I've actually finished research on, and those places have said, actually, we don't want you here. And I'm like, okay. So that's hours that I can throw out the window. But yeah, ask me what I know about the Viper Room. No, cut this. Bleep that. Ask me what I know about some locations that have given me a shoddy green light and have finally been like, you know what? Nah, we don't want you here. Okay.
Right.
I know everything about you. But fantastic. Awesome.
Oh, you guys don't even know. I know the biography of every goddamn employee here. That's what I have done. But yeah, thanks for telling me no. I appreciate it.
I'm having coffee with your wife right now, sir, but great. I'll just head out, I guess. Okay, great. I guess I won't go on a walk with your grandma later this week because why am I wasting so much goddamn time on you? Yeah, no, it's like it's so insane how much work we do. And some of these locations too that have on the other side of that been awesome. There's been great places in Washington State especially that have given me VIP access, and I wasn't able to get there to record the episode for one reason or the other.
Oh, no.
And that always sucks. And I feel bad. I feel bad for myself. I feel bad for them. It's a bummer when that happens. But, there's still time. And with more investment into the show, I think we'll be able to do a lot more travel and check out a lot of really cool places.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it won't be free. that's for sure. We're going to need a lot of help. I mean, that's just
But like the area that you're in, like even though LA is a little more challenging than we had hoped for, you're in an area that's it's rich in history and local culture, especially with the Hispanic population that lives there. Like you have so many locations that you can go to that have stories that would be usable for this show. So like I'm really excited to hear what you do in Southern California in season 3.
Yeah, I am too. There's multiple places that I want to go. I would also like to do some places in NorCal and do some like San Francisco episodes. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of, and I mean, we can get into some of the things we want to do for season 3. But before we do that, so unfortunately, we were not able to be joined this year with our manager, Sara. She goes by Star on the emails. So if you've ever emailed in and interacted with Star, that's actually Sara Schneider, and it's her nickname, Star. This season, so this season she went by Star because last season everyone got confused that both of us are named Sara.
Right.
And we talked about that on the wrap-up last year. But she's always
that's right.
Yeah, her stage name, she used to do she's not here to like correct me. What's that called when you have like hooks that go through your skin and you like hang? Suspension, right?
Oh shit.
Like aerial suspension?
Good question.
Yeah, no, that's what it's called, suspension.
I think that's right. Yes.
Yeah. So that's
the art of human suspension.
Yeah, that's what she used to do. She used to do performative suspension, and her stage name was Star.
Oh.
So
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's a little fun behind the scenes fact. Next time you email in and talk to Star, you're talking to Sara Schneider, my manager, who I credit at the end of every episode. But yeah, so she wasn't able to join us today because she's sick, unfortunately. But she sent both Randy and I some funny emails that she's kind of received over. So like one thing that we like to do on the wrap up is we'll go over some of the emails that we've received from just interesting people.
Yeah, and I actually I pulled one up. One up.
You said that you had a favorite one. I was wondering which one was your favorite.
Well, so there's the one that I saw, and then the one that I'm starting to read right now, just kind of getting a hint for it, is it's bonkers, and I love it.
Okay, great.
So we can do either one. I can do the one that I've already seen, or this new one that I'm skimming through now.
Let's do the one you already saw that you were like, because you texted me earlier today. I forget what you said, that you were just like, oh my God, I can't wait to talk about this one specific email. And I've been curious like all day what that email was.
Oh, that's right. Here it is.
Oh God. Okay, great.
So, we shouldn't say the name, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess we probably shouldn't say the name.
Okay, all right. So from this guy, I'm gonna call him Bill. All right, we'll just call him Bill.
Okay, Bill.
Bill writes in February 18th, 2019. This is when you were just starting to record some minisodes, right?
Okay. Oh God.
Ghosts are fake.
Oh my God, yes.
The only people that see ghosts are religious people that don't go to church all the time. They only go a few times a year. Feel free to Google it, or just watch any ghost hunting show and realize they've never actually found anything. Ask a blind person if they've ever sensed a ghost, and they'll call you an idiot. Common sense goes a long way when you're not a moron.
Oh my God, Bill is really smart. How does he know so much? I wonder if, do you remember last year we had this guy? This is why I really wish Sara was with us, that she could answer some of these questions. But remember last year she said that she had one guy that like borderline harassed her, that answered her like messages from multiple different states. Remember?
Yes.
That she was like, here's another one from this guy. I wonder if that's the same guy or not.
Ooh, it could be. That would
remember
be very
they were like,
interesting to find out.
I just remember it was something like, oh, have you ever seen a black cat? And it's like, well, yeah,
right.
Of course we have. He's like, none of this shit's real. It's just like, wait, what? Back up, buddy. What are you questioning here? Oh my God. So funny.
Let's unpack your anger real quick.
I know. It's like, first of all, I love when we get the emails from people that are just like, first of all, pissed for some reason. Like, yeah, I don't know where the anger comes from. Like, and second of all, are just like, listen, you motherfuckers, like ghosts aren't even real. And I'm like, dude, we talk about all different kinds of perspectives on this show about what the paranormal is. Like, it's not,
right.
It's funny because it's like you can tell these are people that don't listen to the show because they have no idea about how open-minded the show actually is.
Right.
And I
I love the fact like these people are so triggered.
They're so mad. Well, and that's the thing is that like I say open-minded and I feel like that can be misinterpreted to think that, I don't know. I feel like people say open-minded and they just mean like that means anything's possible. And I'm just saying I think it's possible that ghosts are real or that there's something different or it's something going on in your brain. There's all kinds of different explanations for the paranormal or people are lying, like, frankly.
Right.
Like,
oh, yeah.
And we talk about that. We don't shy away from it.
Right.
But I think it's funny. You can definitely tell these people that are all pissed off. It's like, you've never listened to the show.
Right.
And like why are you mad?
You just, right.
To be honest with you, that's totally not the email I thought you were talking about.
No?
No, I have one picked out.
Well, and again, that one wasn't necessarily my favorite. I just saw it. That's just the one I popped open to glance over. I was like, oh, okay, this dude's just rearing and ready to go about
this
not
guy
believing
is
in ghosts.
Fired up. Yeah. No, that's totally not the one that I thought you were going to talk about. Can I tell you my favorite one that she sent us?
I think I already know it because
okay, I'm going to see if it's I'm sure you do know it because in fact, I think when we got it, Sara first sent it to me, and I think I texted it to you. I was just like, dude.
I think you did because I'm looking through this and I'm like, these terms seem familiar.
Okay, I'm going to read the one I'm talking about, and we'll see if it's what you thought. So for listeners, This is the entire body of this email. I'm a gray witch.
Yep, empath. That's the one.
Empath, magician, shadow worker. Started in 1975, age 14. Fighting demon cults, then Satanist. Whole time they send called conjured demons to do their fighting. Then, a few years back, vampires. Last year, Panama City, Florida, Hurricane Michael. Temp closed my old church. I went down to help old members only to find an infestation horde of demons in it. That was a job, getting rid of them. End email.
Dude,
that's all.
I love so much. The beginning of this sounds like a detective who just got off of a long day's work.
100%. Like
an
you can
empath,
just see, like,
a magician.
I know. Like I just want to see it. Like you can just see like just shutters with light coming through it, and like a profile of a man, and like maybe cigarette smoke like coming out. Like,
just absolutely cigarette smoke. Not even a shadow of a doubt. Cigarette smoke and 2 fingers of whiskey. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. Yeah. The only color in the frame is the color of the whiskey. Like I totally see it. Oh my God. I'm a gray witch, empath, magician, shadow worker. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Started in 1975 at age 14.
Yeah. Like putting out the cigarette butt, lighting another one. Fighting demon cults, then Satanist. Oh my God. It's so good. But the reason that I got to see this email, because for listeners that don't know or that are new to the show, I don't see the emails about ghost stories. When I record the episode, I haven't read your email. I have no idea what you wrote. My manager, I call her, my friend Sara, checks the emails and just basically decides, okay, this is going to be a good story. I'm going to schedule this person, and then will tell me, okay, call this person at this time. So I don't know the story. The reason she sent this to me was because we tried to do the phone call, because admittedly, this sounded like a fucking awesome story. We tried to do the phone call, and the guy canceled on me. And he said, I'm canceling. Don't feel like talking. No one gives a fuck anyway. It's like, oh, okay. And I actually tried texting him on the Google Voice text feature, and he was extremely, like, talk about triggered. He was extremely upset with me.
Really?
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm trying to look to see if I can't show you. Okay, I was kind of trying to say, okay, he says, I'm canceling. No one gives a fuck what I and few others do to make this world a better place. And I was like, oh, Jesus. It was just, yeah, it was very, and then he said, do not contact me again. And I said, okay, sorry.
Okay,
you wrote us.
Fine.
Like, I felt so like weird and conflicted about it. Like I felt like guilty for some reason. But
well, I mean, it's bizarre. It's your fault for trying to entertain people, Sarah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and also you wrote in, you sent in an email, you scheduled a phone call, and that's when I came in, and we went to record a phone call. And also, like, when someone says no one gives a fuck, sometimes I'm like, does that mean you really want me to stop talking to you, or do you want reassurance that people give a fuck? I don't know what you're looking for.
Right.
So, yeah. But, it was really, really wild. And certainly my favorite. I wish that guy would have gone through with the call, but, what are you going to do?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's something that happened like with comedians a lot. It's just like, well, you said okay, fine, whatever.
Okay,
it's just more more peeking behind the curtain, more time we have to spend.
It does get. I mean, there are times that I've scheduled. I won't ever say any names or anything, but there's certainly been times that I've scheduled a comic, and then once push comes to shove, the actual day of, either I just completely don't hear back from them all day, and then okay, I guess we'll reschedule. Or
right.
the day of, you'll get a message from the comic that's like, wait a minute, what is this show? Where are we going? What exactly are we doing?
Right.
And I'll be like, what? Okay, well, I'll explain again. So this is basically what's going on. And then they'll go, oh, no, I can't do that. I won't be able to make it. Okay. Sorry.
Cool. Thanks, bro.
Thanks for your time. Yeah, but, people are weird. They're certainly not predictable.
No.
Let's see, what?
No.
What are some of these other funny emails that she sent us?
So I see one from a hunting lodge. It's written in purple font.
A hunting lodge. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
March 10th.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Hi, I'm Alice, living with the ghost of Aaron Kincaid in Beverly Hills. No kidding. Call me.
Wait, who's Aaron Kincaid?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm going to look it up real quick, though.
Okay.
Aaron Kincaid. Instagram. Anyway. Don't see. I think she might mean Thomas Kincaid, but.
Oh, who's Thomas Kincaid?
Thomas Kincaid is a famous painter.
He's a famous
if
painter.
If you've ever seen pictures, it's like a scenic area with like a little cottage and the windows are all flared up with like candlelight or something. That's a Kincaid painting.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Or is it just a random person that she's like, this is the ghost full name? Like, it's not a famous person.
Here's his passport number.
This is his social. He's dead. It's fine. I can give it away. It's so weird.
He can still run for office in some states.
Right.
So then Sara replies, "Thank you for your interest. We're intrigued. Tell us a little bit about yourself," right? And the response from, what did I call her? Alice? I did. Alice. The response from Alice is, "Hi, I don't remember contacting you. I'll be happy to tell you this story on your show."
I don't remember contacting you.
Yeah, and she... So Sara, to her credit, Sara got back to her 9 days later.
Oh, wow.
So it was a little bit of a gap in the conversation, so I could see how the lady would forget. But
woof.
So she says she doesn't remember contacting. First, I'll need all the specs about your show: name, address, phone, channel, etc.
God.
So I can check out. Oh yeah. So I can check out who you are and what you do. It was intense. Like, she wanted to know. I'm pretty sure she wanted to know your shoe size too. So like,
8.5 female.
She needs all those deets. So I can check out what you do and who you are before I release copyright material. Okay, thanks. Alice, phone or text is better. I never check email. Blah, 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 blah. She follows it up immediately. No response from Sara at this point. She follows it up. 3 days later, she follows it up. "Hi, this is Annie, living in Aaron Kincaid's old hunting lodge. Yes, I do have a story, but you have such and such number." Actually, hang on. Okay, so she hasn't had the setup is, Sara's not ignoring her. She just hasn't set up the call yet because she's dealing with probably quite a few of these emails. So you haven't called me or given me info on who you are or how to contact you. Mind you, she's writing into the email to contact, so she definitely has a way to contact Sara.
Right.
I'm a writer and public speaker. I do protect my material. So you're not interested? 3 question marks. I'm old school.
3 question marks.
I talk to 3 question marks. Follows it up with immediately, "I'm old school. I talk to real people in real time and meet them in person, and I research everyone I do business with. Who are you?"
Oh my God. Like, the funny thing about it, Alice, is that you're the one contacting us.
Right.
Google that shit.
Which is great.
GTS. GTS. Google that shit. You've had days. Literally days to just Google it. It takes 3 seconds.
All you had to do.
Oh my God. We do get like a lot of emails from people that are just like really suspicious, that are just like, "Wait a minute. Like, are you going to profit off of this?" Like, no. Like,
right.
Also, your participation is fully voluntary. Like, you don't have to do it. Or there's definitely, I remember a few from last year where people were asking us for payment. Like, "How are you going to pay me with this?"
What?
Like, no, I'm not paying you. If you want to be on the show,
works.
We're lucky. We'd love to have you, but we don't have any money. Like, mainly.
Right. This is unfortunately not a for or nonprofit organization. It's mostly nonprofit because we don't make money on this.
100%. Yeah, there's absolutely no one is making any money on this. So this one's a pretty long one that she sent us. And I imagine
this is the last one, right?
Yeah, and I actually haven't read this one yet because it's so long. But I wonder if maybe she might have sent it in because it was a good story and we weren't able to schedule this person. So I'm gonna read the email if that's cool.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
You've been making up names for people. What's this guy's name?
This guy is Dwayne.
Dwayne?
Dwayne, yep.
Okay, great. He says, "Yes, I lived in a home on Boulder Highway, community called Boulder Ranch. Cups would fall off the counters and didn't think much about it at first, but my daughter would cry at night and we would see scratches on her legs after her crying. So she would sleep with us, and then after a while, our bed would shake and we would feel a disturbing presence at night. Oh my God. This guy would have been great. I wonder what happened with him because he sounds like he would have been a really, really great call. After a while,
this is nuts.
After a while, we felt it all the time, and my desk would shake. My bed would shake. My family and I would hear a lady or a man say something. Cups would fly off the counters. Our ceiling fan would go different directions. My ID bracelet was flung right at me from upstairs. That was crazy, like a message to me. After all this, needless to say, I moved out, and I heard from the neighbor after I moved out, the upstairs of the house caught on fire. Never went back to see. Another story is about a place I would clean. I had a cleaning business at the time, and I would feel a horrible presence there. I received a deep growling. That's a weird way of putting it. I received a deep growling in my ear when I was talking to the staff. It's like you're not wrong, but that's a weird way of like putting it. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I ran to the bathroom and splashed water in my face in disbelief. While working here at night, all the dentist machines would be on and all lights. I asked the manager if they shut everything off at night. She said yes. Every night we shut everything off. So lights would come on and off. We would hear someone talking or speaking. Heard child play music once. It was wow. Couldn't believe it. On our last day working there, I know I'm so sarcastic. On our last day working there, my wife at the time received a huge, deep scratch on her chest, and they both saw a big shadow following them. They ran out. I went back in amazed, little freaked out, and set the alarm to leave. As I was setting the alarm, they were screaming at me to get out. Get out quick and hurry, they said. Get out, get out. After I ran out, they said this huge shadow came and was slowly coming toward me like a snake, like tornado, sneaking up on me slowly. I was like, whoa. And after we took off, we saw a huge, huge orb downstairs. We thought it was a lamp that came on, but we knew that place too well. There wasn't a lamp in the hallway. It was a big, shiny, light blue orb. So anyway, never went back there again and handed the keys to the manager. Man, this guy would have been great.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That would have been a fantastic story.
Yeah. You like what?
Well, I enjoy that at the end. He goes through this whole story. He's like, so anyway, I quit.
Yeah, anyway, I was like, fuck this. I mean, see, that is a great, I wonder, she probably sent us that because it was a great story that we couldn't schedule.
Yeah.
And that we get so many of those. It's crazy. I have so many people that the call just doesn't work. Or I will call the number and I'll do it like 3 times before I'm like, they're not answering. And I'll text Sarah and say, hey, can you send me the story? Because, I'm not going to be able to hear it now, And she'll be like, oh, yeah, that was a really good one. And she'll send it to me and it'll just be awesome. But we can't record the ghost story call because it's, they weren't around at the time or for some reason it didn't work.
Right. Well, that's a shame. This is definitely a really good one. This was a very, very solid story. I would have been very interested to see how Dwayne presented the story. That's always a super interesting.
Telling it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a super interesting part of the minisodes is to see the composure of the listeners, or I should say the storytellers. When they're going through it.
The different way, all the different personalities we had this season. We had a lot of very interesting people. We had one guy who called twice that I became friends with.
That's
pretty
right.
Much. Yeah, because he talked about how his wife had he was like, yeah, we started hearing ghosts, on this recording, and my wife left. And then she came back with the biggest glass of wine I have ever seen. And I was like, I love her. I was like, that's like me. I'm just like her. She's great. Yeah, that was really fun. We had the guy whose name was Alien Wolf. Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. His was such a fun story. Good God.
Oh, my God. He's hilarious. I loved him. I think I titled that episode this Ouija board thing or something like that.
I think that's exactly what it was, yeah.
Yeah, this Ouija board business or something. But yeah, we had so many cool characters that called in this year, and we are so grateful for everyone that writes in and everyone that, plans a call with me and talks to me. It's so much fun. And I know there are a lot of people that say that they only listen to the minisodes because it's their favorite feature on the show.
Right. Which is like, I absolutely get that. As someone who loved to watch those really awful the shows on History and Discovery Channel of the reenactments of ghost stories.
Oh, I loved them too.
Dug so much. They're so entertaining, and like that's what the minisodes are. It's that without the video.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're like new, some people in the off season will start listening to the show, so they'll just hear the wrap up episode first. So if you're new to this show, the minisodes are exactly what Randy just said. It's just like those shows that you watched growing up, on daytime television when you stayed home sick. And it's like someone on A&E telling a ghost story, and they have like reenactments, That's exactly what our minisodes are.
They're fantastic.
In fact, the inspiration for those came from a show on Sci-Fi called Paranormal Witness, which was it's just like that. If you've never seen it, it's just another one of those shows. But all the all the people that they feature on it that are telling their stories do not seem like they're bullshitting. Like they all seem very honest. And that's something I really wanted to do on my show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it comes across. Everybody seems very authentic.
Yeah, for the most part. And that's where Sarah's work really comes in handy, that she has done a great job of narrowing people down and being like, okay, we don't want this, we're not going to do this episode or hey, you do want this guy. So she's been awesome this season.
Great. That's fantastic.
All right. Well, do you want to get into some of the frequently asked questions?
About that.
Do you have any answers on yours?
I did not get any on mine.
Okay, I already have a few. Actually, I have a few already that I've collected, and actually Sarah's collected over the last few weeks.
Fantastic.
So we've actually gotten quite a handful. And I've done some interviews this season as well on other people's podcasts and have answered some of these questions there as well. So those are always great places to go look. But so I'm going to just kind of go down the list of the ones that we've collected. The first one is, why don't you get scared? And
fucking have you listened to the show?
Dropped my headphones. It sucks that we can't be there in person in the studio this year.
I know.
So
and I am going to continue to respond as if you could hear me.
Okay. No, well, you're in my ear now. We're good.
Okay.
So to this question, why don't you get scared? I get asked this all the time. And I think the reason I don't get scared in these haunted places is because first of all, I go in skeptical. I don't go in assuming the place is really haunted. That's a big part of it.
Good. Good call.
Second of all, I've done, like we were saying earlier, I've done hours and hours of work to get there in the first place. So usually my main focus is on getting the episode in, and I'm usually kind of just excited. Like, I've done all this research on this place, and now you can actually see it in person and go, oh, this must be this or this must be that. It's just kind of an awesome experience. So I guess that's why I don't get scared. I think the reason some of my comedians get scared is that they haven't done the hours and hours of preparation that I've done to be there. So they have no idea what to expect. So
right. Yep.
They go in blind.
Which is again so much fun. It's so much fun to hear those genuine reactions when they have.
Oh my god, I love it. When a comic gets scared, it's my favorite. Is that your favorite part of the show?
Oh, absolutely. Episode 5 of season 2 was my favorite thing to happen so far. or my favorite thing to happen in all of season 2. That was where I can't remember the comic's name, but you guys are at it's like Devil's Lake or something like that.
Oh, Elizabeth Lake. It's with Justin Hoff.
Elizabeth Lake. Yes. Justin was terrified.
Oh my God, he was so scared.
Such an amazing thing to hear.
I know.
I
loved
every second of that.
That was so good. He kept threatening to run on me.
Yep.
What's so funny is like I can never plan for what is going to be like the scariest places or like which comic is going to get the most scared. For season 1, I think no doubt it was Becky Bronstein.
For sure.
She wins the award for most terrified in season 1. Justin 100% wins most terrified for season 2. Easily.
Right, of course.
Terrified. He kept getting like, and both of them actually, for both of those episodes, they get like pissed off at me as I'm like reading my notes. They're like, wrap this shit up. Like, are you done? Like, finish the story. Let's get the hell out of here. Like,
I'm done. I'm done, bro. I'm done.
I'm done. Like, he's like, you're gonna see me get smaller in the distance as I fucking run away. That was so fun. I had no idea he was gonna get so scared. That was like my creature feature episode.
Yeah.
Yes, that was really, really fun. So yeah, that one takes place in California for listeners if you want to check that one out. So that actually ties in really well into this next question. The next question was, what was your favorite location this season?
Ooh.
Yeah. So do you have an answer to this? Like, was it Elizabeth Lake for you, or did you have a favorite location that we went to?
I really enjoyed the Elizabeth Lake one for his reaction. Also, the mansion that you mentioned a minute ago, where the dude he pulls you guys aside right as you're leaving.
Oh yes, I forget what was that place called. That was in Detroit. Let
me see if I can pull it up real quick. That one,
right. I was like, we don't even know. There's been so many.
Dude.
I tell people, I'm like, we've gone to 52 locations. Like, I forget them all the time. I really do. That was the Whitney mansion, the Whitney haunted mansion.
There it is. Yes. So for listeners, don't at me. That one for that guy, for that manager, and then also again another comic getting crazy scared. Because when you went to go tour the stables, she sat behind and narrated basically her last will and testament onto the episode for that week.
Oh my God, yes. So that was Johanna
so
Madronda, and she is hilarious. Yes. I love her. She's amazing. Yeah, that was such an awesome location. And that's what we were talking about earlier when I thought we were going to get in trouble, but we didn't. Like, we ended up getting an amazing opportunity out of it. It was actually really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
My next question.
Between those two, that's it.
What's
yours?
That? Yeah, I was going to say, I guess I didn't even answer the question. I think my favorite location for this season was the Haunted Asylum in Detroit. I thought that place was so cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I went there with Zach Martina. It's the Abandoned Eloise Asylum. It's episode 19 of season 2. And Zach is fantastic. He's so much fun. And the location was just
incredibly
rad.
Fun to listen to.
Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
The place was so cool. To be able to walk through that place and like to see, you can see pictures on the Instagram of like the bathtub that's sitting in this tiny creepy room on its own, and just like a bunch of weird creepy stuff that we saw, and to walk through that place was just fucking awesome.
Now that's an abandoned place, isn't it?
Yes, it's abandoned. So it's actually go ahead.
So are we talking about like full on broken glass graffiti, like the standard? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go.
Yeah, there was graffiti inside. All the windows are broken, but we actually got access to it from the Detroit Paranormal Expeditions. They were super awesome this season with helping us get into a lot of cool places. Yeah, so they're who the credit goes to getting us in there. It was very, very cool.
Well, that's excellent.
The next question we got was, who is your favorite comic to work with? And
don't answer that question.
Yeah, I was going to say, I, as a rule, do not answer that question. I'm definitely not into choosing favorites. And the very cool thing about working with comedians is I end up becoming friends with a lot of these people. And so comedy is a really, really awesome small circle when you boil it down. So something that's been really awesome about starting this project is that I can go to Chicago, or I can go to, Detroit or Lansing or Traverse City, wherever I am, and talk to people that I know back in LA or that I know back in Portland or whatever. And we all know each other, and we can kind of just be like, oh yeah, I saw whoever here and I saw whoever there. And oh, how do you know these people? And it's very, very connected. It's a very small world, and it's awesome. It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
But I will never answer
absolutely.
who my favorite comic was to work with or my least favorite. So just don't even bother asking those questions, because I will not. I will lock my lips and take those to the grave. I mean,
but seriously though, like, let's be 4 or 5 shots. Then she'll tell you.
Oh no! That's terrible advice. Never give me 4 or 5 shots ever, for any reason. Do not. I'm like a zoo animal. Like, do not give the girl alcohol. It's not good. Oh my god, it's awful. So the next one I have on here is one that we got last season, and Randy, I know this is also one of your favorites. It is, will you take me to a haunted place?
No.
And the answer, almost 100% of the time is a resounding no. I won't. I won't do an episode with you if you're not a comic. It's not personal. It's the show. That it's, like, it's important to me that we have like a very tight, what am I trying to say? Help me out here.
You want to make sure you have a tight, stringent rubric. Like, you have,
so like the
concept
show, is
the
tight.
show is the show is qualified in very few ways, which is why it's so great, because there's an incredibly niche part of it that is applied towards a very specific audience, and also because of comedians, specifically comedians, it appeals to a much broader audience. And if you start messing with that formula, it starts messing with how you're able to keep the show rolling, keep it flowing, and have that lightheartedness that this show is so good at having, while also exploring this usually pretty fucked up story behind the location you're in. So
exactly,
yeah, comics only. Sorry.
It goes in a lot of and I'll even broaden it to say comedians. If you're an actor and you've at least done some comedy, great. As long as we can see it, we want to make sure that you're going to be a fit for the show. But even if you're famous, and we've actually turned down a couple people that are notable people, but they're not comedians. And what it comes down to is, it's like, my God, I'm so flattered. Thank you. But no, I'm sorry. Like, it's a weird feeling to say no to someone who's like far more influential than you are. And you're just like, but hey, will you tell other people about it? And they're like, go fuck yourself. And you're like, well,
right.
Thanks.
Yep.
but yeah, it's supposed to be, it's intention. I want a listener, when they tune in, to know what to expect. It's going to be a comedian.
Right.
It's not a random person. I'm not doing a special episode with my mom or, with a cousin. I have 1,000 cousins. Like, I'm not doing an episode with a cousin. I love all of you. But, it's
like,
always
you and I have really good chemistry when we do this kind of stuff together, and I can't do this with you. Like,
yeah, I think you said that last year, that you were
guys.
like, look, even I'm not on the show, and I spend hours on it. It's one of those things.
You know how I had
totally
to shoehorn my way? The thing that I had to shoehorn my way onto the show was reading the sources, you guys. All right? That's how I got onto the show.
Oh my God, I forgot about what's really, really cool about that is it sounds great. If you compare episodes from season 1 to episodes from season 2, the ones from season 2 sound so much more polished, and that's definitely something we got better at this season.
Yeah, for sure. We did really, really well with that this season, I think.
Yeah, I'm happy with what we've done with it. It's been kind of a cool thing to see the evolution, and you don't even realize it at the time. I wonder if when we compare to season 3 to season 2, we're gonna be like, wow, season 2 sounded like shit.
Season 2 was a fucking garbage fire. What the fuck were we thinking,
well,
Sarah?
I hope nobody listens to season 2. But
anyone who's listening to this wrap-up episode as the first one, don't go anything. Just wait 6 months, all right? I promise. Wait 6 months.
I apologize for my entire career up to this moment. So my next question is, who is your dream guest? And 100% of the time, my answer is Doug Benson. I have wanted Doug Benson on this show since my very first day. And he's my dream guest. He's my dream everything.
Fair and understandable, to say the least.
Of course. And Doug, if you're listening, and I'm sure you are, stop playing hard to get, you know? I miss you. So my next question was, do you actually believe in ghosts? How about you take this one, Randy?
Damn. I've gone back and forth with this over this season, to be honest. Because, doing this show and doing the other one that we partnered up with on episode 20 or mini-sode 23, Ghosts and Hoes. I don't know, to be honest, and I don't mean that as a cop-out. It's just that, I am a huge and firm believer, as are you, just by nature of your profession, a believer in science. And there tends to be a scientific explanation for everything. But sometimes those scientific explanations sound kind of bullshitty, know? So, like, my partner John has told me about mass group hallucination. And I'm like,
oh, God,
okay, cool, but what? That sounds fake. That sounds like somebody made up to justify something that they didn't know what it was.
Are you there?
Huh? I'm here.
If you're still talking, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes.
Randy. I can't hear you.
I'm gonna text you.
What?
Hello.
Okay.
Hi. You can hear me now?
Yeah. What happened?
That was weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Weird.
All right. I'll edit this correctly.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. So what was the last thing you heard?
I heard that you said basically things get bullshitted a lot, and someone was telling you something.
So John, my partner, was telling me that he's aware of something in science called a mass group hallucination, and like,
oh yeah,
I know that is a thing that has been recorded in science, but that also sounds like a scientist trying to explain something that they can't explain.
Yeah, a mass hallucination.
So,
that's like that, more creepy than all of them seeing a ghost. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not educated enough. Go ahead.
You're educated enough to what?
Well, I would say I'm not educated enough in behavioral science, in psychology, in a lot of those areas enough to say like, oh, those guys are full of shit, because that's not my area. That's not my team, so to speak.
Yeah. I feel similarly, actually. I have seen a ghost. I've had paranormal experiences on the show, but I don't exactly know what it is, and I'm open to different ideas. I never claim to know for sure what's going on. I'm just interested in different ideas. That's kind of my take on it. The easy answer is just yes. But it's definitely more complicated than that. I think a lot of stuff is bullshit too. Definitely a lot of the different ways that people, quote, scientifically, unquote, measure paranormal phenomenon is laughable to me.
Right.
You know, but that's just me. And it's a polarizing opinion to take with paranormal researchers. Like, it's a lot of people get really offended about that. But I just.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to be a little more skeptical than a lot of people tend to be. So one of our questions we got in was, what's a location you really want to visit? And that is such an open-ended question. Like, there's no. One of the places I really want to go to is the Winchester House. That's in California. I'd love to go to that one. I really want to go to New Orleans. I want to go to Savannah, Georgia. I want to go to Japan. I want to go all over Europe. There are so many places I want to go.
Yes, definitely.
So the open-ended. It's so many locations that I would love to check out. And that's not even like the tip of the iceberg. There's really no place I wouldn't want to go. Like podunk,
for sure,
middle of nowhere towns, like little bed and breakfast. I love those episodes. I think those are fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and those ones are some of the most entertaining ones.
Oh yeah,
like hearing the girl in the B&B that you and Kat Buckley went to, giving you the tour and the history of the ghost.
Oh my god, I loved her. Cool. She was rad. I loved that girl. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. She was great.
Yeah, that's so.
And the colorful characters that you meet. Oh, that place was so beautiful. I love that whole place. Oh man. I have not forgotten about at that bed and breakfast. Let me double check and make sure we're saying the exact name of that location. But they are right on the coast, right in Washington, and I had the best crab eggs Benedict I've ever had in my entire life. Holy shit. Because that place is owned by a chef. What is that place called again? Let me find it. Oh god, that was so good.
Also feels so long ago.
It does feel so long ago.
Let's see here.
Oh, I found it. The Tokeland Hotel is what it was called.
There it is.
Yep, episode 11. Yeah. Oh my god, that was so much fun. That little girl was so rad. I wanted to take her with me. I gave her a hoodie.
She loves you for life now.
She was so cute. Oh man, that was really, really fun. That actually kind of leads in pretty well to our next question. It said, "Did you have any experiences this season?" And I assume by experiences, the person who asked this question means paranormal experiences. And the answer is probably. Yeah, there were a couple of things that happened that were kind of weird. Let me think. When I was at that mansion, actually, that we were talking about earlier, the Whitney Haunted Mansion, a candle went out right in front of us. And
oh, that's right.
Yeah, while we were talking, it was the candle that was sitting in front of us, and there were other candles around us, and just that one went out. And I pointed out to the comic, I said, "Hey, look, the smoke is going straight up. If wind blew it, smoke would be going in a certain direction."
Yeah.
It's almost like someone licked their fingers and pinched the flame out because the smoke is going straight up.
Right.
So that was kind of a cool little subtle thing that happened this season. I'm looking through our Instagram.
There was one I remember texting you about that I don't know if it was something that did get picked up, but I remember boosting the volume on it because you had mentioned in a story that one of the common things that happens in whatever location it was is they can hear screaming from a woman, like late at night or in a hallway, I don't know. And then like as soon as you said that, there was a moment of quiet, and then off in the distance was this very high-pitched sound that could have very easily been a scream.
Oh my God. I don't remember what episode that would have been.
I want to say it was one where you were underground, which I know does not help.
Right, yeah.
I think it was in Detroit. It was
it the
prison
asylum?
one.
The prison.
The jail, the underground. There's a prison or a jail. There were cells. You guys were in a cell.
Was I with a female comic or was I with a male comic?
I believe it was a male comic.
Okay, so that would have been the Jackson State Prison.
I believe that was it.
With so I did that episode with Daryl Bean at the Jackson State. That would have been episode 12. I do remember also at the abandoned Eloise Asylum with Zach Martina. Zach actually saw a figure.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
yeah.
I was just like, oh, holy shit. Like he was like, yeah, I saw someone there.
By that too.
Yeah, that was very cool. I think that was all the paranormal experiences that we had this season.
That's all I can remember.
If I'm not, forgetting anything,
I didn't remember them.
Yeah, there were so many awesome times that we had. Me and Jay Shingle or Andy Douglas, and also Carl Berger. All of us went to the Hot Lake Hotel. And
right.
We had a lot of really fun memories from that we still, like, we have inside jokes that we still say to each other because of it. Like, we had so much fun.
Fucking Gam.
Gam. Our gal. Love Gam. Yeah, there was so much. Or, I mean, my episode with Joshua Paul at the Hippie Tree, we were saying squeesh because someone had written squeesh on the tree.
Oh, squeesh, that's right.
So he, like, when his episode came out, he texted me and he was like, squeesh. And I was like, yes. So it's funny, like, for people that are listening to the show, me and these comics continue to talk to each other, and all the inside jokes we make up on the episode, we'll text each other about it later, and we still kind of crack up about it when the episode comes out. So that is really fun. My last question that I have, and you know what? If anyone has any more questions, we can just answer them either on the Instagram or via email. If you have a question, just write in. We're happy to respond to you, and it's fun to talk about. But this last question is, what's next for LITD, which is the short form of laughing in the dark?
I feel like that's a great question to end on.
Yeah, it definitely is, actually. And the answer is very layered. There's some stuff that we're not supposed to talk about. But basically, right now, the main focus is that we really, really need to get our numbers up, and we really need to get some sponsors, because there are so many cool things that we want to do. And a lot of them are you guys emailing in and saying, hey, you've got to check this place out, or you have to go here. And we're like, that would be fucking awesome. Like, we don't have the money to do that. So,
right. Exactly.
You know, it costs money to fly places or to stay at a hotel. And as much as we appreciate, sometimes people write in and say, hey, you can stay with me and my wife. Like, it's fine. Like, it's probably not the safest thing for me to take you up on it, even though you're probably awesome. Because I have gotten some people that write in and say, like, you can stay with us, you can stay at our apartment, you can stay wherever. And I appreciate it so much. But, you know, like, in the interest of safety, we can't really just be like, great. Like,
Right.
I don't want to become a ghost. That's not really the goal. And not to say that you are going to kill me, but, you know, maybe.
Something in your house could.
Yes. Yeah, right. Yeah. Something in your house could. And I don't know that. So I would rather stay at a seedy motel that I paid for with money.
Right.
But yeah,
I would rather pay to stay in a place and have somebody kill me there. I'd rather pay to get killed, is what I'm trying to say.
100%. Then you don't have the guilt, or the blood on your hand, literally or metaphorically. Like, it's just easier for everyone involved. But yeah, so like I think it's safe to say there's going to be a lot more travel in season 3. There's going to be some new locations, obviously. A lot of new doors are opening for new comedians coming into the fold, and that's really exciting. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool things that we want to do, and a lot of cool places that we want to go. And don't stop telling us all these cool places that we have to check out. A lot of times I've never heard of them, and I love getting those emails. But it's. I think you can expect more of the same and just improving. What?
What can we expect? Fucking more of the same. I don't know.
What have you been listening to the last 2 fucking years? Like, you go to haunted places with comedians. What the fuck do you want? No, I mean like more of the same. Like I said, we have a very tight structure and like, funny people and cool locations and awesome characters and a lot of cool places.
Don't forget about the wine.
I mean, there's always going to be bumps in the road, but we do our best to smooth it out so that you guys don't have to fucking deal with it, and we just do. Like, right. That's basically it. Yeah. I don't know. I would love to go to, like I said, I want to bring some like San Francisco and some other NorCal places into season 3. I have also talked about possibly doing some places in Hawaii for season 3. But I can't guarantee. I think Randy, the comic that I'm talking about that was instrumental in that decision. But
right.
There's been some cool opportunities. I can't guarantee them though because life is crazy and you never really know what's gonna happen. But there's definitely some cool places in Europe that we've talked about maybe exploring in the future. And a lot of people ask about the video format. And all I'm going to say about that is we're looking into it. It's something we want to do. We don't know exactly how we're going to make it happen. But
so, to translate that, give us a fucking minute. Give us a minute.
Give us a minute. Like, shit. Didn't you hear earlier how much fucking work we do? God damn.
I don't think you guys understand the hours that we talked about earlier. Adding video work, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yep. And most people don't understand that either. I get that all the time that people are like, you know what you should do? You should make this a TV show. And I'm like, no shit.
You know what? I can't fucking...
I'm surprised I didn't think of that.
That's what she said. A TV... Where have I been the past 2 years fucking around with these mics? A TV? Of course it should be a TV.
You know what? That would be a lot easier, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Or people are like, you know where you should go? You should go, and it's like some random like place that's going to cost me a shitload of money to get to. And I'm just like, I would love to go to Germany. Believe me, I want to go to Germany.
Right.
100 times yes. I don't have any money. Just driving like across the state is kind of hard for me to just get like 2 hours away. Yep. I'm like, all right, this is a lot of gas money. Like,
but you know what, Sarah? I think that I can help you make that happen for season 3.
Okay.
I think I can help you get to Europe and record some episodes.
That would be great. Well, that's not a promise to anyone, but
it is not a promise. No. I am going to say, and to add on to the video, I am more likely to send Sarah to Europe than I am to start video for this podcast. Are you fucking serious? Come on.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Well, do you have any wrap-up comments that you want to make?
No.
Nope. I think we did it.
No,
these were really great questions too. So thanks for everyone who wrote in on Instagram or email with questions.
Thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for being the people who make me and Sarah keep doing it. Mostly Sarah. Way more Sarah.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my God. Yeah. I can't thank you guys enough for the overwhelming support that I've gotten from complete strangers in totally different places for this show. It's been amazing. And you guys also don't realize how motivating it is when I get fan emails from you guys. It gets to the point, like I said earlier, I wasn't joking. There were multiple times this season that I really wanted to quit. It's so hard. It's so much work. And to get an email, even that just says like, hey, I'm a huge fan of your show and I really loved this. It was really funny. That alone motivates me so much because it makes me realize, wow, other people are listening to this and they like what we're putting out there. And that's cool. That's why I'm working so hard. This is great. So yeah, don't be shy to say something. Even though we do go through the funny emails we get. Don't let that deter you.
If you guys remember Star and I talking about texting with Sara, I can promise you that when you send in positive feedback, Sara reads it and sends it to both of us with all of her feelings attached, which are always positive and always really fun to see. The reaction to fan emails. So please keep writing in. Keep doing that because it definitely makes this better.
I also send them to Cooper, our graphic designer, who's also not able to be on this wrap-up episode. He wasn't there last year either, but he's actually all the way in Detroit. And I always send them to him too, and he is always beside himself. For a lot of people write in and say that they love our logo, and that's all Cooper. He's so amazing. Heck Yes Studios. They do such a good job, and he is just a fucking angel. I love that guy. So, yeah, I always send them to, Randy, to Star/Sara. She goes by both names. To Cooper. I send them to everyone that I'm working with because I'm just like, oh, my God, look what this person said. This is so sweet. This is so cool.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we love hearing from you guys. I mean it. I say it all the time. And I think sometimes, like, things that I say multiple times, like in intro outros that I just say all the time, it probably sounds insincere because I'm like, we love hearing from you, but I really do. I mean it. Like, we really do love those messages.
Yeah, they are honestly why we do it.
Yeah, and then usually I respond to them personally too, that I'll say thank you so much. Obviously, I can't get to every single email, and that's part of what Sara does to help me read the emails and correspond with people as well. But
right,
yeah, we love it. So thank you for your participation in the show. It does not go unnoticed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, have a great Halloween to everybody listening, and to you, Randy. Have a fantastic Halloween. And we will see you guys for season 3.
Yeah.
We're going to start working our asses off the day after Halloween. November 1st. We're going to start working to give you guys a great season. So we're really looking forward to it.
Right. And just to continue on the trend of what Sara and I usually do at the end of a season and before the beginning of the next season, Sara, I know this next season is going to be a breeze. And I think that we can get all 26 episodes done. I don't know. I'm going to say we're starting November 1st, right? So you'll have 26 to me, like, what, November 4th? Oh,
my God.
And then we'll start on season 4.
We're probably going to be done with everything by, like, what do you want to say, like, mid-January?
Oh, yeah. We'll be done with it. We'll be done with season 6 by mid-January. Like,
I'm sure every episode will write itself. They're going to roll out the red carpet for us at every location. Comics will be chomping at the bit to be on every episode. It's going to be a little too easy, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Season 3 is already pretty much halfway done just by having this conversation.
Episode 1 drops tomorrow.
Oh, God, let's not say that. Oh, my God. Yeah, no, we'll get through it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a pain in the dick, but, we're going to make it happen. Just like we always do.
Yes.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to showing you guys the work and then bitching about it next Halloween. So have a great off season, and we will see you next season.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Laughing in the Dark is brought to you in part by Heck Yeah Studio. Heck Yeah Studio is a creative effort working with people to create meaningful things. At Heck Yeah Studio, they work with clients to turn their ideas or existing brands into real or better versions. Heck Yeah Studio is the place to go for custom illustration for a full range of branding services, like killer logos, great colors and typography, and fun illustrations for pins, signs, prints, shirts, vehicles, posters, or anything you can imagine. At Heck Yeah Studio, they work with love. Their dream client is someone who is passionate about what they do. At Laughing in the Dark, Heck Yeah Studio has designed our logo, all of our merch, and any posters or stickers that we have. I am so proud and lucky to work with such an awesome company, and I could not recommend them higher.
Cranival Studios.